Don't worry, I'll cut that part from the video so you wouldn't see it. I know that's very important, but not now. You cannot. Yeah. Yes.
Can we dim light?
Off? Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I forgot. Okay, so now let's think about this. Let's first of all create a new project. File, new, Java projects. Hello. Hi. So let's do this. Let's say CSE 114 S17. And let's follow our convention here. Let's say week 02 lab underscore 2. Oh, lab 1. Yeah, I'm just saying for this week is lab 1. For each week, we got 2 labs. Okay, so that's easier. Okay, week number 2 and lab 1, Tuesday. Okay, after you've done that, let's create a simple class. And I want to show you how to use breakpoint debugger. Can we create a new class here? Just call that variables. Variables 1. Okay, I'm going to have different versions to show you. Let's start with something very simple. And make sure you click on the main method here. Okay. So now, let me, first of all, without introducing the breakpoints and debugger, let me show you what can be the motivation of using them. Okay. Let's see. Let's not worry about the scanner just yet. Okay. Let's say integer I is assigned to 23. And then integer j is assigned to I multiplied by 2. And I is assigned to j divided by 3. And you should really somehow to be able to track this down, right? Using paper and pen. This might be something like what you will have on Thursday. Okay? So first of all, you can see the Java program here compiles. Let's see how we can trace the program. Okay? First of all, if I say system.out.println, if I say here I is I, okay, can we do the same thing for j? Now I would like you to, without running the code, don't run the code just yet. Can you predict what's going to happen for I and j? What's going to be the 2 lines of output? I is what? After lines number 5, 6, and 7, what's going to happen?
I is j divided by 3.
I know. But what's going to be the value though?
I is
15? Okay, yeah, that sounds promising. Okay, why don't we, first of all, let's do a little bit exercise here, okay, before we go to the computer. Let's just do our normal trace by hand exercise. Line number 5, we say that there is a box called I, and then we put 23 inside. Line number 6, we say that we create another box, J, and then what we're going to store in there is going to be whatever the value for I is currently multiplied by 2, which would be 23 times 2, 46. Okay, so far so good. Now for line number 7, we're going to reassign the value of I into whatever the value for j is divided by 3. And because we know j is an integer and 3 is an integer, so we'll get a quotient of that. Right? So j is 46. 46 divided by 3 will be 15 remaining 1. So that means we're going to replace I by 15. Agree? Okay. So now what you will get is, on line number 9, I is 15. Line number 10, j is 46. Let's double check. Okay? That's how we predict by using paper and pen. Okay, 15 and 46. However, this is a little bit too, just by using hands, it's not that good. I would say when your program gets a little bit more complicated, it's not that possible to just trace your program by using paper and pen in your minds. You want to have a better mechanism to do so. So let me show you how you can do this in Eclipse. The idea is I want a program to be run in slow motion, which means I can control the speed of running the program. I want to say, when you execute this program here, when I say execute this program, it's going to execute 5, 6, and 7 is so fast. I cannot see really how it executes line by line. But now, by using something called breakpoint, I can now say, now I want you to execute the code line by line. Before you execute each line, let me have a chance to look at what you really are trying to do. Okay, that's kind of the idea. Okay, I'll show you how to do it. It's something called breakpoints. So the two keywords you should really learn today is one is called breakpoints. Breakpoints, and the other one is called debugger. So usually people say bug is like a mistake in your program. You may have heard of it before, right? So debug is like a verb to say I want to remove the bug. And debugger is like something for you to remove the bug. Just an English word. Okay, let's see how we can use breakpoints in debugger in Eclipse. It's a really cool idea, actually. The idea is slow motion. So now I want you to see that you can see for this line here, for example, line number 5, this is where we declare integer I is equal to 23, right? So now you can see that there's a vertical bar here, which is blue over here, right? Where my mouse is moving here. Can you double click on the line number 1 here? If you double click, you can see there's a dot over there, right? It's something called a breakpoint, which means now I set a breakpoint in line number 1 in my main method. Now I'm going to run my Java program in a slightly different manner. And then the execution is going to stop in that line over there. And then I can examine what's going on in my program. Okay, but I'll go walk you through. First of all, can everybody see the breakpoint here? Okay, make sure you can click on that. And then now, usually, when we want to run Java application, we'll say run, and then run as Java application. That's what we usually do. But now it's different. We'll say run debug as Java application. So that's the difference. When you say what you want to debug your program as, it's going to pause at the breakpoints you just set. Okay? So now, again, go to run debug as Java application. If you do that, it's going to switch to something that's completely different. It is something called the debugger perspective. We used to be in the Java programming perspective, but now we are in the debugger perspective. Okay, there are many things here. I'll guide you through. Don't worry. So now, if you see that, I'm gonna pause very soon so the TA can help you. But let me just finish something here. So now you can see that the variable 1.java here, you can see somehow this line here is highlight over here, right? So that means we didn't really run it through yet. We'll stop here. So we are now stopping at a point right before we try to execute line number 5, right before that. Okay. And there's certain things I would like you to keep to pay attention to. So now, if you can see, there might be something called variables and the other thing called expressions. If you don't, that's okay. I will show you how you can bring them up. Go to Window and Show View. Over there, you will see expressions and you will see variables. So these are the two most useful things to have. Okay, variables and expressions. Okay, these two things. Okay, I already have them, so I don't need to select them. If you don't, you can select them. Let's just go to variables now. So now you can see now we are paused at line number 5, right before we try to declare I. So I does not exist just yet. Okay, now we can have a choice. For now, we can say now execute one line only one line. Let me show you how you can do it. If you see that there's some kind of like an arrow here, if you so this is like a stop button here, right? It's gonna say terminates. Don't do that yet. So now you can see this arrow here says step into. We will talk about this maybe later in the course, not yet. So now have a look at this, step over. That's what you need. Step over simply means execute one line only. Now we are now at the point right before we try to declare I to have initial value 23. But now if we say step over, it's going to do the declaration and initial assignments. Okay, so now I can predict what's going to happen. If I try to execute this line here, and you will move to this line here. And then what you will have done is there will be a new variable called I, and the value of I is 23. Okay, let's have a look. So now if I say step over here, if you do that, you can see now we have one more variable here, I, of value 23. But we don't have j yet, because j is not declared yet. Because now we are at this point here, line number 6, right before this line was executed, right before. So j does not exist just yet. So now there will be something very useful here. You can see j is going to be assigned I times 2. So I times 2 is not really exactly I. It's some expression out of I, right? So that's why expression panel will be very useful as well. Let's go to expression here. Let me just erase this. That's from previous semester. Let me erase this. Now, I can say add new expression. I know that j is going to be assigned I times 2. So let me just type here I times 2. 46, right? Because I know the current value of I is 23. So 23 times 2 will be 46. So I can predict 46, which is 2 times I, will be assigned to j after I execute this line again. Okay, let's say step over again. So now you can see, go back to variables, we got I still 23 and j is 46. So you can see now somehow the computer is simulating what I just did on the board, right? So that's something you want to get used to. Okay, I'll give you time to do that. So now finally, so now we are here. We pause at line number 7, right before we try to assign I to j divided by 3. So why don't we go to expressions here again? Now type another new expression here, j divided by 3. Oh, should be 3 here. So now it's 15. So now I can predict, as soon as after I execute this line here, it's going to assign 15 to I. Okay, so now let's watch what's going to happen. You can see I currently is 23. Now I say step over. Now it becomes 15. Okay, so now that's so far the changes of the variable. So now line number 9 is going to print out this line here. So if I say step over again, it's going to show me that in the console, you got I is 15. And if I step over again, it's going to print out the value for j. And I know that j is actually 46. Step over again, j is 46. Now I'm at this point here, which means no more code to be executed. And I can just go, and I'm done. Okay, I can terminate. Okay, any question about this simple example here? I will pause here. I'll let you experience just this simple program here. I'll get a little bit more complicated after a small break. Okay, let's take maybe about 3 to 5 minutes to make sure you can at least operate this breakpoint and debugger, and make sure you can really see the variables and expressions pattern. Okay, let's spend about 5 minutes on this, and then we'll resume.